Hey everyone, Mr. Anderson here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a Google Classroom with all the new guardrails put in place so that way you can start getting all the materials for your class put together and set up so the start of the school year will be able to run really smooth. So the first thing you want to do is logging into your district Google accounts. Make sure you use the long form, so that's at hbgsd.k12.pa.us. And once you're logged in, go to Google Classroom. You can find that up in the Google Apps here. One of the options is Google Classroom. So you just click on that and that'll bring you to this page. From here, we want to set up our classroom. Now you'll notice I have already set up my classes, but I'm going to take you through how to do it from scratch. So the first thing you want to do is click on the plus sign to create or join a class. And we're going to go to Create Class. Now what's going to pop up here is all the information we need to fill in for the class name. So first thing, class name, according to our guardrail, we're going to do last name followed by initial. Then we're going to hyphen, and we're going to type out what the class is. So for me, I do honors pre-calc as one of my classes. So that's what I'm going to type. Then another hyphen, and then the class year. So this year is the 2021. So that is what our course name is supposed to look like. Now, if you have different sections, this is where you can put in. So I'm going to say this is period 4, even though I don't teach period 4. Subject, again, you could type in the subject again. So honors pre-calc. And then you can add your room number. So my room is 426. And I hit create. And it'll take a moment here as it loads in all the information. And so here we go. Here is my new class that I just created. So on this screen, this is the stream screen. This is where you will insert your announcements each day to let the kids know exactly what they're supposed to be completing on that day. There's some things you can mess around with. Here is your class code, which you can copy and will paste into your lesson plans, or you can email it to the students. You can change the theme. So if you come over here and select theme, there's tons of different stuff. So I'm going to go into the math and science, and we'll just choose this one. Actually, I like that one that has the graphs on it. And I select it, and then it pops up as that. So it'll change the color coordination to fit your theme. So just based upon what you want to do. You can also upload a photo if you want to do your own theme. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get set up with our topics that we'll start placing our assignments into. So we're going to go to classwork, and then right here where it says create, we're going to click on that, and all the way at the bottom is topic. So I'm going to click on that. And so for our topic, according to the guidelines, we're going to have it as, so module 1, cycle 1, colon, and then we're going to insert the date range for when we're going to be teaching this cycle. So I'm just going to use the start of the school year, so 8/31 to 9/4. So that's going to be the first week of school. And then I hit add. And so we'll see here, that's what pops up. And from here, I can start organizing my assignments into this week's cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And the first thing I want to create is I want to create the material that I'm going to be teaching. So that would be under material. And for the title of this, what I want to start off with is what is the overview of this week's material. So for my title, I'm going to type in Module 1, Cycle 1, overview. Now, if you looked at the document that was sent to us, it had a magnifier emoji in front of it, kind of as like a cutesy little thing to spice it up a little bit instead of just words. So in order to add an emoji to your topic or your title here, the best place to go is this website called emojipedia.org. And from here, you can search for any type of emoji that you would find on your phone. So because it was magnifying glass, if I just type in magnifying, like I did earlier, and I hit enter, it gives me all the different emojis that go along with it. So magnifying glass tilted right, click on it. And then right here it says copy. So I can just copy it, go back to my title, and I can either use Control-V to paste it, or you can right-click and paste. And that puts the emoji right there. And then for description, this is where you would type in the overview of what you're going to be teaching. So the first week for my pre-calc class is all about reviewing the topics of Algebra 2, kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I'm going to say a review of Algebra 2 topics. And then over here, I want to make sure that this module gets stuck in the right spot. So under topic, I want to select the module 1, cycle 1 date range. And that will automatically organize this right underneath that topic area. Now, if I hit post, that'll post it automatically. The other thing you can do is you can schedule it. So if I schedule a post, I can actually make it where it won't show up until the day that I want it to. So if I wanted to show up on the 31st when that week starts, I would select the schedule for the 31st and then type in whatever time I want it to be. So school starts at 7:30. I'm going to allow the kids to start seeing it right first thing in the morning. And so I hit schedule. Now you'll notice that it's kind of in a gray color and it says scheduled for August 31st. If I were to not schedule it, if I were to instead post it immediately, it would be a different color scheme. And I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second here. So the second thing we want to put in is our objectives for this week. So for the objectives, the guidelines had us doing a target as an emoji. And again, you don't have to use the emojis, but they're really a nice thing just so the students can see what we're talking about. So target, and it is called this cycle's learning goals. So that's what we're going to type in. And then I'm going to add that target emoji again. And then in the description, I'm going to just go through and type out all of the learning goals for that week. I don't have them off the top of my head right now. I'd have to look them up. But this is where you would type in each of your learning goals and just list them out. And again, you can schedule it to match up with your other one. You want to make sure that you select the topic and change it to the module 1, cycle 1. And I'm going to go ahead and post it so you can see the difference on the assignment screen. So if you notice, that's what I just posted. It's now in color and it's all black. And it tells you exactly when I posted this assignment. So compared to a scheduled, it's really grayed out, and it says it's going to be scheduled on August 30th at 7:30 in the morning. It would then post it just like I did to the learning goals assignment. Now, I don't like the order of these things. I want the learning goals to come after the overview. So when the students see it, they read the overview first of what they're learning, and then they read what their learning goals would be for that topic. So in order to reorganize these, you just click on it and drag it. And it'll shuffle them around and automatically save them. And we just kind of continue to repeat the process for each of the different steps. So the next thing that we want to do is the Teach Me, which is where we're going to insert our links for Zoom or videos that we pre-recorded or anything like that. Anything that is the teaching aspect of our lesson. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, once again, do material. And this time, we're going to have Teach Me as our title. And for our emoji that we want to use, I'm going to add the teacher emoji. And there's so many different options you can choose from. So I'm just going to do the man teacher and copy it, and paste it. And then because I want this to be specific to the lesson I am teaching that day, I'm going to also include a circle emoji. And again, you can choose any color you want. So for the first day, I'm going to do the orange circle. Copy it. And I'm going to paste it. Now the other thing we have to include here is we have to include the tagline so that way the students know what lesson this goes with. So the tagline is always going to be as follows. So M1.1.1. And what that stands for is Module 1, Cycle 1, and then the lesson number. So this is the first lesson of that cycle. So M1.1.1. Again, I'm going to come over here, click on the module cycle, so that way I have it. I could type in the description of what we're going to be doing for that lesson, as well as if I'm doing a Zoom link and I have that all set up, I can go ahead and hit add, and then I can drop the link in right here. And this is where you could go ahead and paste your Zoom link. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste a Zoom link that I happen to have. And you can see here that it says that it's a Zoom meeting. And if I go ahead and post that, now back here on my classwork screen, I can see that. And if I click on it, right there's the link. So the students will have the same thing. When they click on the assignment, right there will be the link. They can click on it, jump right into the meeting with you. This is also a great place where you can add, so in the course description, this is where you could add the password. So you can password protect your Zoom meetings. So that way the only people that can log in would be anyone who is actually in your Google Classroom, who then goes into this, sees the password, and then drags it and puts it into their Zoom meeting. So kind of an extra layer of security to help keep unwanted visitors out of your Zoom meetings. It also will allow for Dr. A or Dr. Grant Spencer, if they need to pop into your Zoom meeting and you have it password protected, they can then see exactly what the password is to get in. Okay. So the next thing is for us to actually add an assignment. So this could be a practice, this could be an actual assignment, this could be a closing out thing, an exit ticket, something like that. So what we're going to do is go to assignment, and then we're going to add the name of the assignment. Again, we're going to use our tagline, so M1.1.1. So again, that stands for Module 1, Cycle 1, Lesson 1. And then for this, I'm going to have them do practice, just to do a little bit of practice problems. And I also want to designate exactly what day they're doing it on. So I'm going to use, once again, that same color circle emoji out front. So that way when it's all organized, the students can see all of the orange circles together. Means they're all going to complete that all in one day. And so for practice, because of being in the math department, what I use is Math Excel. And under Math Excel, there's a great program called Study Plan, which gives the kids questions based upon what we just learned, and they answer them until they achieve mastery. And so I'm going to have the students complete And for this case, it's 1.1 in the study plan in Math Excel. And so once again, I'm going to also go ahead and add the link to Math Excel for my students. So it's mathexcelforschool.com. Go ahead and add that link. So that way there's a quick and easy spot. They're not having to like try and remember where they put stuff, if they saved it to their favorites or not, or trying to remember what's the exact address for the website, because a lot of times the students will confuse Math Excel as just mathexcel.com, which is a completely different website. So Math Excel for School, that way the kids can click on it. Over here I can adjust how many points I'm going to have the assignment worth. Because it's practice, we are ungrading it. We do not grade practice. I can then choose a due date. So I'm going to choose that same day that it's assigned, so that way they have all day to do it. You can also add in a time, so it'll put a marker and let you know, did they turn it in on time or did they turn it in late? Because it's practice, I'm going to let them have all the time that they need, so as long as they turn it in by midnight of August 31st, they satisfy the assignment. And then once again, we want to make sure we do the drop-down topic and select that Module 1, Cycle 1, so that way it gets placed in the right spot. We're going to go ahead and hit Assign. And right there's my practice. I'm going to drag it down under the Teach Me. And so now you can see the orange dots next to each other. So if the students come in here on that day, they can see like the order that we want them in. So the first thing is going to be that Teach Me. They'll go to the Zoom meeting. Then once that's over, they'll go here and do the practice. And we'll go ahead and click on the website and answer the stuff from there. So we're going to create another assignment. And this time we want to do a graded assignment. So that way we actually have something for the students. So once again, because I'm going to do the exact same day, I'm going to insert that orange circle emoji, put in my tagline for the lesson, and then I'm just going to call this assignment. And once again, I'm going to have instructions for them. So complete the Quiz Me section 1.1 on Math Excel. And again, I can go ahead and add that hyperlink to it. So that way, once again, it's a real quick and easy thing for them to access. And then over here, if I want to change the point value, it defaults to 100, but you can change it to whatever points you want it to be. So I know that the Quiz Me section has 5 points, so I'm going to go ahead and change it to 5 points. So it's real easy. If the students get all 5 questions right, they get all 5 points. And they can continue to answer the questions until they get all 5 right. So it's not like I'm going to hurt them if they get the first one wrong or whatever. They can continue to retry until they get them all right. Once again, we're going to select a due date and then selecting the Module 1, Cycle 1 topic to put it in the right spot. And then I want to drag that down after practice so that way they know the order. And then finally, I want to just make sure that they understand the lesson kind of as an exit ticket or just a wrap-up reflection part of the lesson. So I'm going to create one more assignment. And this one's going to be my check for understanding. So for our check for understanding, we call it the learning check. So I'm again going to use this orange emoji. So that way they know what day it is. I'm also going to go ahead and search for the check emoji. And there's a whole bunch of options, so I'm going to just do the check mark. And so that's kind of a way that they know, okay, this is the actual check of the lesson. So learning check. And I also almost forgot it, the tagline, so M1.1.1. And then answer the following question. And then this is where I could type in whatever it is. So, how do variables represent real-world things or items? And so if I assign it like this, the students could then go in and comment on it. But to make sure that I kind of keep everyone separate and keep people from just copying and pasting off of each other's answers, what we can do is we can also go here and do a create. And I like to create Google Forms. And this is really easy. So for the form, I'm just going to come back here and I'm going to highlight this title, copy it, and paste it. And so, boom, right there, matches up. There's the learning check. And then for the question, once again, I can come back here, copy my question, and paste it. And then I'm going to make it a paragraph so they actually have to type out their answer. And I want to make sure that I check this required box. That way, the students, when they do this, they can't just like not answer the question. They actually have to fill in something in order to answer it. And then I'm going to come up here to settings and I'm going to do limit one response. So what that forces the students to do is they have to be logged into their Google account, which obviously they would be to get into your Google Classroom. But that also keeps them from just spamming and entering answer and answer over and over again. You can have them be able to edit it after they submit it. So if they submitted it and then they went, oh wait, no, I forgot to include, you can have them be able to go back in and do it. So that's just by checking that. And then I want to go ahead and hit save. And there's some other things you can play around with. You can change the colors. You can change what the image is. So it's just, you kind of have your own preference as to what you want to do with that. But what will happen then is as we assign that, and I forgot to include the topic and due date. So once again, due date, and then I want to make sure that I hit topic. Because if I didn't, that threw it out and away from the cycle where I want it to be. And I'm going to drag it all the way to the bottom. And there we go. That is one day's set of assignments for them to do. So if the students log in, they would have the Teach Me, which would either be recorded video or the Zoom lesson. Once they're done that, they'll complete the practice, they'll complete the assignment, and then they have a learning check at the end. Not every lesson requires the practice, assignment, and learning check. Sometimes your lessons may go over a couple days, so you may not want to do a learning check then. You may not want to include the assignment until after you've completed all parts of the lesson. So as long as it has at least one of the three things in your lesson, you should be good to go. So the last thing that I kind of want to show you how to do is to create an announcement so your students know exactly what they're supposed to be doing that day. So coming back to the stream option, obviously it shows here all these brand new post-its. I don't want to see all of them. Every time I post, it's going to throw it out there. I really don't want that. I want to have it where I just put the announcement out and it'll kind of organize it all. So under the settings, I want to scroll down, and where it says classwork on the stream, I want to select it to hide notifications and then hit save. And what that does is it keeps the stuff from popping up every time you add an assignment in, and it allows you to organize your announcement page a little bit better. So in order to actually create an announcement, you're going to click on this share something with your class. And then here's where we're going to type in our stuff. So today is August 31st. Please go to classwork and complete the following. And so here's where I'm going to type in the M1.1.1 teach me, M1.1.1 practice, M1.1.1 assignment, and M1.1.1 learning check. Now you can also add the different emojis that we had from back here just to help them out. So even if you just do what the color circle is to kind of help them out and paste them in there. That way they can see, okay, I'm supposed to create, or I'm supposed to complete all of the orange assignments for today. And so then the next day I would choose a different color, like green or red or something completely different. So that way the students can see day by day which set of assignments they are to complete. And the other thing that's nice to add at the end here is just a little reminder. To make sure that the students click on the Turn In button after they complete any assignment. If they don't do that, Google Classroom won't have it as turned in, and so when you go to do the grade for that student, it'll say that it's late or that it wasn't turned in. So I like to add that little reminder there so that way the students know, okay, I have to click turn in so my teacher gets the notification that the assignment is complete and I can get my grade for it. And so once again, we have the option, we can schedule this post. So I could schedule it for the 31st. And so what that allows me to do is I can actually copy this text and paste it into multiple announcements over and over and over again and not have to retype out everything, but just make little changes here and there. So change the date, change the number, change the color of the dots, and then just have them all scheduled so I can kind of do it a week at a shot and then forget about it for the rest of the week. So that way I'm not like having to go in and do it every single day. Or you could just hit post and that'll throw it out there and you can see what it looks like. So there's the announcement. That's what the students would see. So when they come in, they can go to classwork and they know it's the orange circles are the ones they have to do today. So they're the ones they're going to do. So that's how to type in everything from scratch, setting it all up. I'm going to show you a couple little shortcuts now that we have most of this stuff set up, just to make things a little bit easier on you as you're going through. So now that I have one whole day's worth of stuff done, I'm ready to move on to the second day. And I could go through, I could do the create, do the material and type out and everything exactly as it was, following all that stuff. Or if I know that some of the stuff is kind of going to remain consistent. So for example, I'm doing a Zoom lesson on this lesson. I'm doing a Zoom lesson for the next lesson as well. I kind of want to copy that assignment and reuse it again. Or I have multiple sections that I have different Google Classrooms for, and I want to copy that assignment to all of the students so that way I'm not having to retype it out for every single class. So if I go up here to create, and then I go to this reuse post, and I click on it, that'll pop up with all of my classes. So I'm going to just copy the one from the course that I'm in. And depending on which topic you want to use again and just adjust, that's what we're going to do. So day 2, I'm going to start off with a teach me. So I'm going to highlight it and click reuse. And what that does is it fills everything in same as it was before. It automatically will put it under the right topic area. It has the exact same title. Now, obviously, I am not doing the same lesson again. I'm going to be teaching a different lesson. So I'm going to change that last number to lesson 2. And then I also want to make the distinction of it's not the same day. I want it to be a different day. So I'm going to change the color circle that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do blue. Copy that. and I'm going to paste that there. But everything else, kind of the same. We're still going to do a Zoom meeting. If I had a description of what we were doing that day, I would change that. If it's a Zoom meeting password and the password's not changing, you can leave that there. And then I just go up and hit post like normal, and there we go. There's a second day's worth of stuff. And so we can see, all right, the orange day was this day, blue day is day 2, different set of lessons, and so on and so forth. And we can continue to do that for all of the assignments. We can, once you get to the next cycle, you can do that with the cycles. Same thing with the modules. You can redo the overview every week. So you can just copy and paste it. And again, you can do it from class to class. So if I wanted to pull it from a different class, so let me pull it from my pre-calc that I've already done. And you can see I've already started filling in each of the days. So we're going to go to the next day, and we're going to go ahead and pull in the Teach Me from that day. It fills everything in for me, and I don't have to do anything else. So it's real nice to be able to go ahead and pull stuff from other classes that are all the same into this one. You can also do the same thing with your announcements. So if I wanted to create an announcement to make it look the exact same, but change a couple things in it, I'm going to go ahead and hit this Reuse Post button. And then make sure I'm on the right class. Hit reuse the announcement I want, and then I can go through here and make the changes. So it would be September 1st, and then here's where I would change all of the numbers to make sure that they're doing the right assignment, as well as I'm going to change the circles to be the blues. So that way the students know, okay, today we're completing the blue assignments. And so this is what I said about the scheduling. I like to do it where I then schedule, okay, so the date will be September 1st, so I'm going to schedule for September 1st at the start of the day and hit schedule. And that way it doesn't appear on my announcement board, but it shows up as saved announcements. And so it'll stay there until September 1st at 7:30. Then it'll drop onto my announcement board right at the top. So you're not getting too many items on your announcement board. It's easy for the kids to follow because every day there'll be the new announcement. They know what to go and to do and proceed from there. So that's how to add assignments. That's how to add your announcements. The only other thing that's left to do is adding your students. So again, there's the class code. You can copy it, you can email it out to the students, tell them to type that in under the join class. The other way to do it, and this is the quick and easy way to do it, is to go under your people here and actually invite them directly by name. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and click the Invite Students. And then because we are on the Harrisburg district email link, every single one of our students have an email that they are already hooked up to Google with. So you can just type in the student's name. So I'm going to use my favorite student, Miss Spangler. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Spangler. And right there she is. There's her email address. And we can click on it, and it'll send the invite link. And you can continue to do that. So if I wanted to add Mr. McIntyre, right there he is, boom, type in his name, click on it. And you can continue to do this. What I do is I have my list set up in an Excel spreadsheet. I just go ahead and highlight them all, copy them all, paste the names in here. It automatically finds all their email addresses. And then I hit the invite, and it sends them all the class invites. And from there, that basically sets everything up. The only thing that's left is doing the grade book, which you can choose to do. You don't have to do it because we are still using eSchool for our grades. And that's still kind of in the works as to what we're doing. But once you have students in, there'll be a grade book here for all the assignments we had under the classwork. and you can go ahead and you can assign point values. The students will quickly be able to see exactly what they get on assignments, what their overall grade is, and so on and so forth from there. So if you have any questions about anything I went over, if I'm missing something that you want a little bit more help with, feel free to email me. And hopefully this was a big help for you in getting yourself set up with your Google Classroom with all the new guardrails that are put in place for us this year.